Welcome to CityCast Denver. I'm Olivia Jewel Love, and here's what Denver's talking about. Okay, so today we're talking about Waymos feeling the Colfax struggle and all the great things strangers want to invite you to via printed flyers out in the community. Green Chili correspondent Justine Sandoval, welcome back.
Thank you.
Justine, how's it going?
It's
What's
going.
new?
I'm still worried about all the pollution in Denver. Still hot as hell. But we move forward.
We move forward, we stay inside, we use our air purifier, and we persist. So,
Exactly.
well, you sent me this story about the Waymos, and I gotta say, I love a Waymo tale. So I am excited to talk about this. We finally got our first little bit of Waymo excitement, which I feel like we don't have a really good story yet, but this is proving promising for me. So we finally got one last week that got confused on Colfax on Thursday of last week. For an hour, the Waymo got stuck in the construction zone. And I just got to say, me too, girl. I also get confused there. So, Justine, what were your thoughts here?
Well, same, because I think it was last week, I almost turned because they've redid the pattern because of the BRT construction, and I almost turned into oncoming traffic. So I can't even imagine what the Waymo is doing. But yeah, there's all these stories out of San Francisco about them blocking the BART line and
which we will
getting
compile.
hijacked.
I've got a whole segment for you of my top Waymo mishaps. So we will list them off. But I want to read this. I want to read this Waymo because Waymo gave a statement about this Colfax incident, and to me, it's giving, "Let's go Waymo, woo." Love Waymo. Which, I don't know what I really expected from the statement, but I'll read some of it. The Waymo vehicle was traveling with the flow of traffic, adhering to dynamic instructions and remaining safely outside the active work area, this spokesperson, Sandy Karp, wrote in an email to Denverite, which they did this awesome write-up of this. The Waymo driver navigated around the construction zone and successfully alerted the rest of the fleet to avoid a blockage. However, the vehicle inadvertently stranded outside of the active construction zone in the process. The trust and safety of the community is our top priority. We are dedicated to learning from this situation as we continue improving road safety in the cities we serve. So I feel this is A+ PR to me. We are so good at doing this. Okay, by the way, sorry, this kind of happened, but also we were doing all the right things up until this moment when this happened.
Well, it felt like they're saying it was actually doing its job. It was helping all the other Waymos.
I know.
But unfortunately, it just stalled in the middle of traffic.
For an hour. And I do love, I've seen a couple of videos of this online, and I do love the detailed Denverite had of some of the construction workers putting out cones to try to block it, try to tell it where to go, and calling Waymo on the phone, being what do we do? It's just what do you do? I mean, it already is such I have such such a sense of empathy for the people that are working road construction, because it's already such a dangerous job to be working, where cars are driving, and then to have one that's driverless and God knows what it's doing. That's gonna be so all right, so we don't have any protocol here. What do we actually do? No one knows. So, yeah.
And that's the case all over, because everybody has all these stories. They're we're calling, or I'm stuck in my Waymo. And what do you do when you have no driver to interact with directly? Everyone, in the story, it's hilarious because it's everyone was coming out of Sprouts, confused what to do with this Waymo just sitting there.
Yeah, because it's not you can get in and drive it. I don't know. I'm sure it's a very helpless feeling. But so that kind of brings us to the update of, last we talked about this, they had real people drivers in them, kind of guiding them around, teaching them the ways of our streets. But last month, in a couple neighborhoods in Denver, they went fully autonomous. So robot driver, but right now, regular people still can't ride in them. Only Waymo employees are taking rides in them right now. But I'm curious, have you seen a lot of them? Because I saw one the other day and it kind of, I was confused because it had Michigan plates. And I was like, did you
Ooh.
Waymo all the way here? Like, is the battery life that long? But I don't know, like, have you seen a lot of them? Because I don't know, I've
I've
seen a few.
I've seen a lot of Waymos that had drivers, but this last week was the first time I saw no driver.
Did it freak
And
you out?
yes, I was driving, and I think it was on. I can't remember what street I was on, but as I look over, and you expect, you see a driver, but I saw nobody in the car, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And then I was
And then
like,
you crash. You're
"They're
like, oh,
driverless."
you're like, oh, the autonomous Waymo is so safe. And then you crash, like staring at it.
Seriously, it freaked me out. And then I saw another one where there was someone in the driver's seat, but they weren't driving. Like they were sitting back and it was driving.
I
And they
think
had their
that was a
phone
lot
out.
of the like first trial period was people were
Yeah.
there in case it went like haywire, but they weren't
So, in
really.
case it stopped on Colfax.
Yeah, which I'm like, that would kind of be a great job, just like sitting there getting taxied around by the Waymo. Maybe kind of terrifying, doing the
Oh
crosswords.
my God. Yeah. No, I envied the guy because I saw him just like looking at his phone while I was driving around. I'm like, oh my God. Just drive
Which,
around with
like,
it.
aren't you not supposed to do? I feel like the people that have this self-driving Tesla, it's like, don't look at your phone. I'm like, what's the point of it then? Like, what are you supposed to do?
A few weeks ago, there was a guy behind me in a Tesla, and I'm pretty sure he was like on self-driving mode because I thought he was like videoing me. Because every time I look in my rear view, he had his phone up like
Uh,
this. But then I realized this man is full on texting, like in his face.
I
I was
mean,
like, whoa.
I see people do it on a, like a Honda Civic 2003. And I'm like, you know what?
Driving
Okay.
with their knees.
Yeah, I'm like, wow. But so I guess Waymo, this is not the first time Waymo has been having problems with the construction zones. In June, they had to recall nearly 400 cars because they kept entering closed freeway construction zones, which is scary. So they from the recall notice, this is a quote. Under certain circumstances, the autonomous vehicle may enter and drive at speed in freeway construction zones due to inappropriately prioritizing the avoidance of other freeway hazards and or failing to recognize the construction zone. Uh, which, again, their PR team is working overtime with these statements, which, okay, but this is so scary. Like
It's
being a highway
terrifying.
construction worker and having a car, like, I mean, because already the threat of like, normal cars, but having a car with no driver just come onto your site is so scary.
Well, and it says that in the article too. They basically say like, "Oh, our cars cause way less accidents
Yes.
than humans, but we do drive into construction zones more than anyone." But it's real. I had actually a family member, really tragic, or not a friend of the family, years ago, who was a highway construction worker
Yeah.
and was hit and killed while they were working. Like it's a big
It's
deal. I
extremely
like always tell
dangerous.
people slow through the cones. Like you can be a speed racer driver, whatever, but if you're gonna ever take time, like when there's pedestrians around, school
Yes.
zones, when there's construction workers, that's their lives, and they're by zooming cars all day.
It's so
Like you
if
need
you've
to,
ever had to stop on the highway for any reason, you know how scary it is, like how fast
yes.
people go and like they're just trying to do their job. It's extremely
Mm-hmm.
scary. So I can't imagine the this also on top of all of that, which
Yeah.
is just crazy. But I also wanted to kind of bring up this aspect of Waymos just being like a walking surveillance or like a rolling surveillance
Yeah.
vehicle. So like I was kind of thinking about the like LA riots where people were lighting them on fire a little bit ago.
Calling
And so
them to light them on fire.
yes, yes. So I was reading this article from Wired, which I will link in the show notes, but they were kind of citing some facts about Waymo's like cameras and stuff from the Waymo website. So the latest driverless cars have 29 external cameras providing a simultaneous 360-degree view around the vehicle, as well as an unknown number of internal ones. And then Waymo's website and privacy policy do not specify how long the company retains camera footage captured inside or outside the vehicle. And so there, it also, there's more that goes on that it's like, basically like we retain the right to give this to the police should we need to. And so I'm just kind of curious, it's been really top of Denverites' minds thinking about flock lately and a lot of like surveillance technology in our communities. How does Waymo fit into this picture? I mean, these are roving 360-degree cameras. Do you think people are even clocking that yet?
I don't think people have necessarily clocked that, because we had like the Google camera cars that walk around and,
Right.
map and document areas. But yeah, I'm like, which is crazy to me because you know how we could solve like all these weird issues with cameras? It's just hire actual human beings to drive cars and have labor. That's one solution to this. But yeah, the camera part of it, because it starts out with like, yeah, they may need to use the footage if there's a crime that took place or something and they need to help with that. But then what is it anytime, they give away information to people? It's like kind of the same thing with like Alexa and Google and all of these companies and your privacy when it's constantly collecting images and data. Like, where do they draw the line of like that information going out? Who has access to it? Are they going to sell it later on? Like,
I don't know. I think it is a concern.
yeah.
And I kind of wonder how Denverites are going to feel about that once we really start seeing them in action.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just started thinking about this more because, the flock conversation is so big. And I was like, well, what about these giant rolling flock cameras? So I don't know. I'm curious, if you have thoughts on this, if you have a take on the Waymo of it all, call in at 720-500-5418. We're going to take a quick break. And then when we get back, we're going to round up some of the best slash most memorable spots Waymos have gotten stuck, predicaments they've gotten into. This episode is brought to you by Denver Health. Charlotte Olson suddenly couldn't speak or text. She assumed it was a panic attack, but it was a stroke. She drove herself to Denver Health, where the care team diagnosed her quickly and got her the treatment she needed. Doctors traced the cause to a small, common heart defect most people never know they have, and Charlotte had it fixed. Today, she's fully recovered. Denver Health was recently certified as a primary stroke center, giving stroke patients faster diagnosis and coordinated treatment from the moment they arrive through recovery. If something feels off, don't wait it out like Charlotte almost did. Get checked. Every second matters. At Denver Health, they're with you for life's journey. Learn more at den.health/stroke. That's den.health/stroke. All right, we're back. Justine, like I said before, I'm kind of morbidly excited to be on the map of weird Waymo stuff happening. Even though I feel like ours is like kind of lame so far compared to like some of the others, but with the help of our producers, I have rounded up some of the top hits of Waymo's doing stuff they shouldn't be doing in other cities. So I just wanted to get your thoughts on some of these and just take a trip down memory lane of some of the greatest hits, maybe worst hits of just like Waymo's doing stuff they shouldn't do. So without further ado, I think this one I wanted to bring up first because I think we talked about this on the podcast like forever ago. Which I think it was happened in 2024 in San Francisco. San Francisco is fraught with these stories, by the way. You're going to hear them a lot. But there was this story of these Waymos that were in kind of like a Waymo housing parking lot where they all chill at night to park, I guess. And they just kept triggering each other to honk at each other all night long, right behind an apartment complex. And the way that they were like parking next to each other, they couldn't stop making each other honk at each other all night long. And like the residents couldn't make them stop. Like there was nothing they could do. So it was just like constant honking of this giant parking lot of Waymos just right next to all this housing. And that that
I
one
had not heard that one yet, and that
that
is
I'll put links to all
hilarious.
these. I want you to be able to experience these too. I'll link them. I mean, this one's a memorable moment for me. Iconic. Another another Waymo mob story. I kind of, Waymo like gang mentality, I guess, is the Waymos in Atlanta. Another like God, it's just so funny to me. But there's an instance in Atlanta where all these Waymos started swarming a cul-de-sac in the morning, and they just wouldn't stop going around this cul-de-sac.
And what do
and
you do? Like,
and it
you
was
don't
right
call.
in the well, it was right in the morning, and so some of the neighbors started trying to put out some of those like little like green kids signs that says like "slow children are here," but then it started like confusing the Waymos, and they started like getting stuck and like trying to like back out and like back into each, so that it just caused like even more of a traffic jam, just like them short circuiting, getting confused. So it's just another instance of just mayhem from these guys just not knowing what to do. So that's
This
that's
is
another
insanity.
another fave for me. Let's see, what else do I have on my list? One of the most recent ones, from 4th of July, another San Francisco hit, a video from the people inside the Waymo, driving over a firework, like an active firework, and then like essentially catching on fire and smelling like it's on fire, which is
Oh my god.
crazy. But also like I don't know how. I mean, I'm sure there's a way, but it's like, yeah, how they really would have to think of everything to be like, okay, yeah, let's program the car to like recognize a firework and not drive over it. Like, that
Yeah.
is kind of deep, but I feel like it should be able to recognize a threat.
Don't drive over an active fire. Don't drive over an object in the road. Like,
Yeah.
well, they claim
So
that they're not driving. It's like someone's driving, someone can see it. And I'm
I
like,
know.
well,
I'm
why
like,
is nobody reacting then
no,
to these
actually, it's like the like person driving from remotely is just
things?
texting while driving.
Yeah.
They're on Instagram live. No. Um, and then what else we got? Oh, Miami Beach. We got two Waymos. Another great video. Two Waymos locked in a standoff, trying to both turn, but they like can't figure out how to turn around each other. So they're just like stuck in an intersection, just like looking at each other, basically just stuck blocking traffic. Just nobody can get around them because they both like have short circuited and don't know how to like turn around each other. Just a lot of good. There also Waymo's driving into floods,
Oh yeah, I've seen those ones.
insanity, and then a couple more San Francisco hits. A terrible one, a Waymo failing to stop properly for a school bus. Just like, wow, that I feel like that should probably be day one. That was like day one of
Yes.
driver's ed for me. But crazy. And then maybe my favorite one in San Francisco, they pulled over a Waymo at a DUI checkpoint be- because it flung a U-turn right in front of the cops, and so they thought it was like
When it
drunk.
saw the checkpoint.
They were like, "What are you doing?" They're like, "What are you doing? Are you drunk?" And it's like, "Go home, Waymo. You're drunk."
Go home, Waymo. You're drunk. You've had
you know,
enough, Waymo.
I don't
Is
know.
that safer? Like, if you need a designated driver, is a Waymo safer?
I think it depends on where we're at. I don't know. I don't know right now. I think
No,
it
I'm like,
also
walk,
like who's on the other end driving
call an
it.
Uber.
Yeah. Also, I did see in some of these articles, it's not cheaper. We've talked about this before. It's not cheaper than, Uber or Lyft or any of those services. So I think that, I've saw Governor Polis talking about like hoping for the safety aspect and like the EV aspect of it, to be like the benefits. But I don't know that cost is going to be one of the big benefits. So
Wow.
I don't know, but if there are any sightings of Waymos doing dumb stuff, I want to see them. We need to see them. So please send them to us, Instagram or TikTok or wherever at CityCast Denver. Please share.
Send
We
us
always
your
want to.
Waymo
Yeah,
stories.
we need it. We need it. All right. Well, we're going to take one more break, and when we come back, something else. All right. And we're back. This story, it's a man with clip art, a color printer, and a dream. Basically, this story from Westward. Posters are up around town for this man, Kendall Fitzgerald's celebration of life, except he's not dead and there will be bubbles. So, Justine, you sent me this story. This guy is hosting a neighborhood get together at Cheeseman Park after battling idiopathic intracranial hypertension for the past year. And now he just wants to party with his neighbors.
Yeah.
Justine, what were your initial thoughts on this?
I loved this story. I saw the article in Westward with the flyer, and then I read it, and there were so many other layers than just a man with a flyer for a celebration life party. There's like the first of all, the flyers he made at the public library, which you all should know, you get 100 free copies from the library, and he made his poster to invite people to this. But it was just a great story about someone who had a really bad health scare that, made him feel like he has a second chance at life. And instead of just hiding away or, not being positive, he decided like he wants to get out and meet people and meet his neighbors and just try to really get the most out of life. And so it's just a great story. Like if you read the story, Kendall Fitzgerald is like this adorable human being. And then it's just like a story about community and bringing people together.
Yes. So one of the things he noted in the story is that he said his neighborhood is missing the communal vibe that he experienced on the East Coast. And he thinks that there's an overall lack of hooting and hollering. And so, Justine, I wanted to ask you, where would you rank Denver on the hooting and hollering scale?
Well, I guess it depends on how you define the hooting and hollering. But I say Denver, we're like a 5 when it
Okay.
comes to. I think things have changed. Like one thing he mentions in the story is that people were like, even if you didn't like everyone on the block or whatever, you kind of get to know everybody.
Yeah.
So if there's things going on, you know who your community members are. And I will say, like my parents have lived in the same house for, like 40 years or, they're always saying like how unfriendly the neighborhood is now. Or how like they just don't know like new people that moved in. So I get like what he's kind of saying, like everyone just keeps to themselves and there's not as much community. There's not a lot of talking with your neighbors or gossiping or informing each other about what's going on, who you know, what you
Yeah.
saw, what you done, all that stuff.
I think that there is definitely a general like lack of hooting and hollering. I will say the last hooting and hollering I heard in my neck of the woods was at one point there was a man listening to Creed very loud in my parking lot doing push-ups, and then he would just kind of like stand up and be like, "Yeah!" Just kind of like and you know what? I liked that. Not really for like
Yeah.
the push-up part, but like I just think that I think I agree, with Kendall that there isn't enough. And like, I think that I'm part of the problem. I think that I'm not hooting and hollering enough. So I'm pledging to do more of that. But his party is on Friday, August 15th from 5 to 9 at Cheeseman Park. Which if you're going, please take pics. It sounds fun. He said there'll be bubbles. It's the flyer is great. The flyer, I love the flyer because it's not some AI garbage. It's
No.
he made it in like Microsoft Word or something, and it's just what a flyer should be, and
Mm-hmm.
it really warmed my heart to see that. I was like, thank God there's not any of that like terrible like block text with the like crazy like like Rocky Mountain something
And then
just like,
all the
and then the
icons
small and
showing.
like so many words, just like the classic like AI flyer that everyone's using right now. I was just so
Oh my
happy
God.
to see just a normal person flyer. So like that was a
Yes.
huge win for me,
And a
frankly, on
flyer out in
this.
public. Like I love that. There's something about walking in your neighborhood and seeing a flyer on the telephone pole. You're like,
Oh, I
What a
love reading
terrible. I'm
stuff.
so old.
Oh, I love
Like,
looking at stuff. I'm
yeah,
such a like,
but yeah,
you know, look at stuff, take pictures of stuff. Like anytime someone
yeah,
posts something by my mailbox, I'm like looking at it. I'm like, does this apply to me? Could I do
yeah.
this? But I
Should
mean,
I rip
Justine, I
this
think
number off? Do I need it?
yeah, no, I'm like, do I need a dog poop scooper? I'm like, I have cats, but maybe we could be
Maybe.
friends. Who knows? But I think it honestly does like back into this larger trend right now of one, which I'm glad you pointed out that he printed this out on the library printers because I'm going to be honest with you. I was feeling a little bit insecure because I'm like, do people have printers? Like, do you guys have printers right now? Like, do you guys have
I
printers
have
with
one.
colored? You have printers? Like, do
Yeah.
people have printers with colored ink? Like, am I behind in life? Like, I don't know. I was feeling a little insecure because like this trend right now is like inviting people to come to your event, strangers to come to your event via printed out flyers and taping them places. And like the first part of this, I'm like, y'all have printers? Y'all have printers with colored ink? Like, okay, flex. Like that ink's expensive. I'm
Yeah.
just like impressed by that, first of all. And then like, yeah, just the second of like the funny inviting people to stuff. Like I'm thinking, I don't know if I think you've seen it by now, but Heather, who is hosting at Cheeseman Park as well on August 22nd, is inviting people to come watch her learn to roller skate for the first
Yeah.
time. She's definitely got like a JCPenney's photo shoot type of flyer with like all her pics of her with her pink roller skates, which like love it, iconic. And then obviously we had Milk Chugging Guy, which was like
Oh my
I
God,
think like
milkshake guy.
last summer because I remember it being hot because I was disgusted that it was
Yeah.
going to be hot and there was going to be milk chugging. I remember being very grossed out by that. But like it's just this trend and I was trying to like pin it down to like where it came from and I thought maybe it came from like those lookalike contests because I feel like those were the first like flyers of like the Timothy Chalamet
Yeah.
lookalike contest and then I feel like people were like I don't really want to see a lot of Timothy Chalamet's. Like, what if you came and just like watched me blow bubbles at the park for a while, and then just like it morphed into this thing of like,
Yeah.
let's just hang out, guys. So like, I don't know.
I think I remember one. It was the Kyles, the gathering of the Kyles. Like
Yeah,
all Kyles
yeah, the
gather
name
here at
ones.
this time.
Yeah, I feel like
I'm like, I
Olivia's
like
could
that.
definitely do that. Like,
Oh my God,
every
an
time I
Olivia
meet an
gathering.
Olivia, it's like the Olivia bond is very strong. Like
Ooh.
we are
Make a flyer,
Olivia.
print at the library, meeting of Olivia's, Cheeseman
Well,
Park.
and this is the thing though, Justine. I wanted to ask you, like, how do you recover though if nobody shows up? Like that's my fear here. That's like my inner child is just like
I
weeping.
was
I'm
like,
like,
let's go
what
back to
do
your
you do?
childhood
What
birthday.
do you do if like you're like, okay, I'm gonna have the hee hee ha ha, like so funny. I make this poster, and then nobody shows up. Like, what do I do if I'm the only Olivia there at the Olivia meetup? Like, I don't know if I could recover. Like,
You know, yeah. The Kendall Fitzgerald has great advice in his article. He talks about like he's scared, he doesn't think people like him, but
oh
he still just has to go out in the world and he's still got to get out there. And I think that's what's hard. For me, I'm like constantly talking about this. Like humans are pack animals and
mm,
we've like become so individualized. People miss that. I think that's why
yeah.
they're just saying, come blow bubbles with me at the park. Like anybody. The good thing about Denver is we are still a little kooky city and people will show up. Like, I'm
Yeah.
going to show up. I'm going. I'm like
Yes.
bringing my bubbles just because it's fun. And I think that there's a lot when people are willing to put themselves out there, you get a lot of people who want to do those things but are reluctant to, and they see someone else doing it. They're like, okay, it's okay. Let's join in. Let's all have fun. Let's just connect. Let's
I
just be
love your
here.
optimistic take here. Of course, I went immediately evil and was like, I'm going to stuff the event. I'm going to pack the house with Olivia's so in case no one shows up, I still look cool. I'm like, I'm going to provide my own Olivia's. I'm going to hire Olivia's
Hire
to show up. So then it's like there's still Olivia's there and no one will know that I'm a loser and no one came.
Olivia
I
casting
do. I
call.
like your version better. I like your version better. So we're going to pretend like my evil thoughts didn't happen. But what else, we've got the Olivia meetup. What would you put on a poster?
What would my meetup be? Um, I'm like, I just think just like come to the park, come hang out. I'd have a potluck, a chili
Yeah, I was going to say you could have a
potluck
green chili, like everybody bring your
meetup.
recipe, like bring your version.
That would
That
be
would be,
so fun.
wait,
I
we could actually
saw a
do
park,
this.
I think it was like Seattle or somewhere. They did for 4th of July, like a guacamole off. And people
Ooh.
brought their different recipes. And everyone in the park just tried them. And like people just come bring
Well,
their
it's kind of like
recipe.
we've commercialized the chili cook-off so far. Like
Yeah.
we've made it like you have to pay to enter. You have to like, there's
Yeah.
prize money, you have to like vendors, all this stuff. But it's like, what if we took that back? What if we just made
Yeah.
it a clip art flyer? Bring your best pot of green chili to the park on Tuesday and we'll all eat it. Maybe
Yeah.
some people will get food poisoning, but that's the risk you have to take for a community, right?
I love it. Yeah. That's what it is. Sometimes you eat a bad batch of chili from your neighbor, but that's the risk you
Hey,
take for community.
someone's got to do it, right? And you just
Exactly.
hey, and they don't win. You just don't vote for them to win. It's like
Yeah.
they're not the winner because they gave you food poisoning. So maybe they just don't win. But
I feel like there's people, and this is a great opportunity for like older folks that want to come out and maybe like Mary up the street hasn't been able to share her amazing chili with everyone, but she's just the flyer and the community doesn't know she has bomb ass chili.
exactly.
And we're missing out because nobody's invited her to come to the park.
Something low stakes like this, because like I'm never gonna enter like a competition like that. Like I'm not good enough at most things to like actually like pay to enter and like go do it. But if it's just like me hanging with people at the park, like sure I'll bring something. Like of course I'd love to.
Yeah,
Let's make this
absolutely.
accessible. I am for this movement, and especially the nice posters just made with your heart, printed at the
I
public
love it.
library, or if you're fancy and have a color printer, jeez, people,
It really, like, I could print 5 pages before I need to buy $90 ink cartridges. I only got it for work purposes. My boyfriend makes fun of me for having a printer. He's like, what is this? Is there my inkjet HP?
I know. I was like, are we living in the same
He's
economy
like,
right
why is
now?
this gigantic machine here?
Well, if you've got an event that you would like people to come to of this caliber, or a really cool non-AI flyer that you would like me to see, please send it to me at our Instagram at CityCastDenver or to our voicemail/text line 720-500-5418. We'd love to see it. We'd love to tell people to come and maybe come ourselves. Justine, this was so fun.
Yes, thank you.
That's all for today here on CityCast Denver. If you enjoyed the show, why not take a minute to tell Heather about us? Rate the show wherever you get your podcasts, follow us on Instagram and TikTok at CityCast Denver, and subscribe to our morning newsletter at denver.citycast.fm. You can support this show and get great perks by becoming a CityCast Denver neighbor at membership.citycast.fm. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. See ya! No way, it's a bear. And then I heard them set off their car alarm, and I was like, oh, they must have just like, accidentally hit it or something. And then my dumbass, I got up to pee literally right after that. So that bear was definitely between our 2 campsites at that moment. Yeah, and so that morning the like park ranger came by and was like just checking to make sure nobody was having campfires and stuff. And he's like, did the bear come by? And we're like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, he comes by every campsite and he'll be back. And I was like, okay, I want to go home now.
Too much. No, I like
Dude, it was horrifying.
a bear.
I hated it. And Matt's now, he's like, yeah, it's kind of cool that I got to be so close to a bear for my first time seeing one. Like, it was really like, I was like, no! 5 a.m. And he's like, Olivia, there's a bear. And I just see him dangling there, like right next to the bear. And I was like, bro, I'm like, what do I do? And I'm also like, I wish I had a gun. I had like a clear shot at it. And he's like, no, you can't shoot a bear. And I was like, Matt, it was 2 feet from you. And he's like, you can't shoot bears. And I was like, God damn it. I was like, you Colorado
I
people.
will shoot you.
Yeah, I was like, I'm from the Midwest. We shoot stuff. I don't know if you would have felt the same if you were as close to that bear as we were. We were so close to that bear. We were and hearing it making bear noises and opening my margaritas and drinking them. Personal attack, first of all. And I had gone to bed early because it gets dark and I'm tired. And he was just like hanging out, listening to music, chilling.
Yeah.
And I had put up a bunch of stuff, but I can't lift the cooler. The cooler's so heavy, I can't pick it up. So I couldn't put it in the truck. So anyway, I thought you would appreciate that, Justine.
That's the best story of the week.